Are you a small business owner but you're scared of taxes? You're not alone. It seems like there are a million forms to fill out. You don't know where to go, what to do. Well, I'm here to help. This is another episode of Money Moves JA, brought to you in partnership with Exim Bank's Business Advisory Service. We have some more details on paying your taxes coming up. I also have a giveaway up next. I'm joined again by Courtney Johnson. He's the Taxpayer Education Officer at Tax Administration Jamaica. Welcome back, Courtney.
Thank you, Kalilah. My pleasure.
The last time you were here, you told us all about some of the deductibles that are allowed and some of the processes involved in filing your taxes. I want you to tell us now, how do I file my taxes? So where do I go? What do I do?
As of 2019, filing taxes has become easier than before. In that, TAJ has mandated that all income tax type related activities, once you're filing an income tax return, this has to be done online. How do I get there? By simply logging into our account, and that is jamaicatax.gov.jm. Once you're there, there is the client login link, or you could simply click on login and you go down to the bottom. Since you don't have an account, you would simply click create account, fill in the details, and the last thing you click is sign in. Once you're in, you have created your account. The next step now is that you will have to apply for an e-services account. What the e-services account does, Kalilah, is that it allows all our customers, whether you're in Germany, Japan, Africa, wherever in the world, to file your income tax return online. All income tax returns are done online. So you can simply click on apply for an e-services account, and that's one of the headers, the hyperlink on our sign-in page. It's apply for an e-services account, found in the middle of the page, about 2 steps down to the bottom. Apply for an e-services account. And you would have completed that form, fill in all the fields, and the last thing you do is you upload your ID. And then you click submit. Once you do that, you would have made an application to Tax Administration Jamaica to file a return. Now the filing process. That application is usually approved within 3 days. If you give us a call at our education unit, then we can approve it same time. Now, so once the application is approved, we will now created your accounts. Will you, as a sole trader, will you be filing income tax returns? Okay, so you would have income tax, education tax, NIS, and NHT. The form itself is very user-friendly, very user-friendly. So on the SO4 form, that's the one used for the sole trader, the first question they would ask you is, what is your gross receipt? Once you put that in that box, let's say it is $800,000.
For the year? For
the year, $800,000 gross. It then asks you for your business expenses. And you will have this pop-up box that comes up that asks you to put in the figures. Once you put that in, if you have nothing else to declare, then you simply click next, next, read the different pages. If there's nothing to declare there, you go until you reach submit. Once you click submit, the form is allowed to calculate how much taxes are due for that year. The formulas are built in, so you're able to see exactly how much without even thinking, oh, did I use the right formula? Did I use? You don't need to. It actually does the calculation. What it also does too is say how much you have already paid in advance, so you know what your balance is at the end of the day. And that's it. You can print your copy, and what do you know? You've just filed.
How often do I need to do this?
You file income taxes once per year. There is a due date. The due date happens to be March 15 of each year. Now, on March 15, unless the commissioner states that he has given an extension, the due date is March 15. On March 15, what you would now do is file the income tax return for the previous year, the year that has just passed. In this case, you would, let's say we are on March 15 today. You would have been filing the year of assessment 2019, that is January to December, on this due date, March 15. You would also be filing your estimated income tax return, that's the SO4A, on this very same day. Those are the due dates.
So the estimated income tax return would be for the year to come?
For the current year that you're in. So you file for the previous year, declare it, file. The previous year would have said, this is actually what I earned for last year. So I would have initially said, I estimate that I'm going to be earning $700,000. But when I check up all my receipts and I deduct my expense, I really end up with a little more. So my final return, which is the SO4, which I will file on March 15, would now say $900 is what I actually earned. So I'm paying the difference. And also on this day, I'm saying for the year 2020, I estimate that all things being equal, I'm going to be earning the same like last year. So I would put as my estimate $900,000. Now, I would say, but do I pay all of that money one time? Because I haven't even earned the money yet.
Right.
I'm just saying that I estimate that I will earn this, all things being equal. No, you don't pay all of it at the same time. You have 4 quarters in which you are allowed to make these payments. You can pay them anytime before, but you need to pay the first quarter on March 15 for the SO4A, the second quarter, June 15, the third quarter, September 15, and the fourth quarter, December 15. Once you have reached those dates, you ensure that your quarters are paid. What's the benefit of doing this? The benefit of doing this is that you pay your taxes in advance so that at the end of the year, when you would have now been required to file that final return come March 15 of the following year, you don't have to scratch your head and say, oh my God,
where am I going to get
Where am I going to get all this money to pay? You would have already been paying it in advance.
But explain something, because if you're not required to file until March next year, and let's say like in our example, you're a new company, so you wouldn't be paying June 15 and on these quarterly dates because you don't file until March next year. So when March comes, you're paying back for, when March 2020 comes, that means you're paying back for the taxes that you would have accumulated in 2020?
Great question. And the answer to that is, if you start a business during the year, now is September, and you just registered with the registrar of company, and you say, okay, I want to file my estimated income tax return because I'm a sole trader. You can now go in, since you have an e-filing account, and simply click on SO4A and put in what your estimate is for the year and click submit. Once you have submitted, then the requirement now, the onus is on you to ensure that you pay these quarters.
So you can do that now, you don't have to wait until March?
You can do that right now, you don't have to wait till March. So if you want to double up and triple up and pay the March quarter now, pay the June quarter now, because September is just around the corner, so you pay all 3 quarters at once, then so be it. That is possible. Now, if you're a limited liability company and you're beginning at this time, there's a section in the Act that speaks to you can file 18 months. So you can actually wait for September to December 2020, that's 4 months. And then all of 2021, so you wouldn't need to file March 15 next year, but you would continue throughout the course of next year, and 4 plus 12, 16 months, you'll file the following year. So you're allowed to do that.
March 2022.
March 2022.
But then that means you have more taxes accumulated.
You have more quarters to make those good payments. So you're really looking out for yourself, because at the end of the day, if you choose that route, you're really saying, it's a longer period, So if I let all of this accumulate, then I'm going to have more. So I will still be required to make my quarterly payments.
So what's the benefit of doing it that way?
The benefit for the customer is that you end up paying very little when due date comes for the filing of the final return.
Because you've been making the payments.
You've been making the payments all along. Now, what happens if you make a loss? Because a lot of persons, record keeping is very important. Keep books and records of all expenses, all disbursements, and all income from whatever source, whether in the island or worldwide income, as the Act would have put it. Keep records of all those. Now, what happens if at the end of the day you made a loss? If you make a loss, then there is no requirement for you to pay anything. But what if you had made those quarterly payments? What happens? The good news is you are entitled to a refund. Yeah, that's good news, isn't it?
And if you break even, same thing?
If you break even, once your record, now record keeping is king. Once you have your records, they're legitimate records, and they say that this is what happened. Once your record says it, you have no problems.
Do I have to have physical copies of all the receipts, or are electronic receipts acceptable?
To how things are now, there are some places that you will go and you will get some receipts that after you look at them 2 times, they disappear. It's like saying, now you see me, now you don't.
True, yes.
And then there's but how am I going to prove to the tax department that I actually spent this money? So one suggestion is you can either scan it to your computer or take a photo of it just in case it gets over the wall. You take this photo, you have your copy, whether electronically, but you should have copies so that the tax department, if you claim $10, you have a receipt there that says, this is it, this is proof.
So since everything is done online, do I have to upload all of these receipts? Because it could be a lot.
It can be a lot. So some persons love to keep physical upload receipts. It is advised to keep physical copies. It is advised because, as you know, the electronic version does have its ups and downs too. The hard drive can go bad, something can go corrupt, etc. And as such, you don't have any proof. So it's always good to keep a file with all your expenses for 2019, expenses for 2020, and my income for 2019. Keep a physical file in a safe place. The law says for at least 6 years. So that should, in case the tax department would require a review of that return that was filed, and may I see the proof, then you say, here is the file.
Okay, so you don't necessarily need to submit all of that every year.
It's not a requirement to submit.
Only if you at TAJC go through the records and say, something looks off here, let me request it. Then you need to provide it.
Correct. Importantly, for companies and individuals, it is a requirement that if your income is over $5 million for individuals, you're supposed to submit a financial with it, a financial statement. And likewise, a company is supposed to submit a financial statement along with their return. Now, this you should upload.
Thank you so much, Courtney. Very useful, very helpful.
Most welcome.
And once again, you can find Courtney, you can visit TAJ's website. What's the website again? That's
jamaicatax.gov.jm.
Awesome.
Or you could visit one of our offices. Oh no, we're discouraging visits at this time. So you can give us a call. Give us a call at 876-545-6221 or 876-545-6192 or 924-9624. Those are the numbers I remember at this time.
I love it. Thanks again, Courtney.
You're most welcome, Kalilah. Thank you for having us.
Here's a recap of how to pay your taxes. Create an account at jamaicatax.gov.jm and apply for an e-services account. Complete and submit the SO4 form online by March 15 each year. Avoid a hefty payment by prepaying your taxes in 4 quarterly installments. And it's time now for our giveaway question. Very easy. What are the rates for an individual for NIS, NHT, and education tax? Answer on Exim Bank's Instagram page at EximBankJA. And you can win yourself a lovely prize. That's it for this episode of Money Moves JA, brought to you in partnership with Exim Bank's Business Advisory Service, giving you the tools to grow your business. Check out their website, eximbankja.com. I'm Kalilah Reynolds. See you later.